Hey, greetings. It's the Obia Witch, Daniel. I wanted to discuss this book that I just finished reading. It's called Witch School, First Degree. It's by Reverend Don Lewis High Correll, and it's Lessons in the Correllian Tradition. I've actually been kind of interested in the Correllian Wicca for some time, and I wanted to kind of check it out. So I bought the First Degree book. I have to say I was pretty disappointed, and I'm not going to say negative things about them. I'm just going to say a few things. One, I think some of the history in here is a bit outdated, and I was a bit concerned because this book was only published. The first printing of this book was in 2005. So, I mean, some of the information in here I felt was a bit dated, and I think maybe there could have been some better research into some of the history of the craft. Some of the rituals are okay. They seem to use behold a lot. It's like behold this, behold that, and it gets a little bit redundant and a little annoying, quite frankly. Now, there are some really good rituals in here. I do find that they borrow a lot from other sources without giving reference, like without giving who they came from. There's a lot of stuff that's been borrowed from Correllian Wicca, and they don't even credit them. There's some other stuff that's one of the main invocations from the book that's actually written by a different author, and there was never any credit given to her. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff in here that's very general neo-paganism that they kind of skim. I mean, I don't think there's anything. I mean, if you're wanting to become a Correllian initiate, I mean, I definitely see this book, obviously would be a very, useful thing, but I simply find it to be very, very basic, and oftentimes not very ethical, in the sense that they steal material without giving credit to who it originally belonged to. Although I do give some sources, like they talk about the charge of the goddess, where it came from. Again, some of their history is a little bad. It's got some good rituals in here. I do respect them that it's not all spells. A lot of 101 Wiccan books seem to be just basically a spell book opposed to actual. They do go in depth about a lot of good stuff. I did find some useful material in here. But I said you really have to read between the lines to find the good stuff. I mean, a lot of it is just so basic and so fluffy. I mean, after reading this book, I have no desire to look into Correllian Wicca anymore, or even read the other two books in the series. It seems just very fluffy. I mean, like I said, I don't want to make fun of, because I've met some really nice Correllian Wiccans who have some really deep stuff, and so maybe this is just so basic. And I don't know, in the coven that I trained from, the First Degree material was so much more advanced than this, and what I really see here is not really First Degree material. For most Wicca groups would be what we call dedicate material, stuff that you would learn prior to First Degree. And I think maybe that's what his intention was, because I think Correllians do the degree system differently than most average traditional Wiccan covens. And that's okay. It just means different. It doesn't mean bad. Like I said, there are positive aspects. I mean, it just seems so blah. I mean, I was really hoping for something more in-depth, something that shed some light. I mean, they do have a lot of little exercises in the book, some of which I did find useful. But again, lots of skimming from neo-pagan sources without actually crediting the authors of them. I'm not real sure how they got away with doing that. I don't know. But like I said, a lot of the stuff in here is not credited the source material, and it comes from other sources. And that bothers me a lot, to steal source material and not give credit for what credit's due. And so, because of that reason, I